only time I think I've actually been on a football field. And it feels really good between my toes. I am so incredibly honored and thrilled to have been asked to come back and talk to you, to be able to come back and talk to you today. Thank you. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. You know, how many of you have seen in stores, on shirts, quotes, famous quotes everywhere? You can't get enough of them. Quotes that you buy and you put on your wall, quotes that are magnets. And I thought I would tell my story today in quotes, using critical moments to capture an important quote. So today it's going to be talking about living, all about living, and special occasions to live for and through. How many of you here today are about to graduate Madawan? What, one person? Are there any seniors here? Okay, thank you. How many of you are about to graduate MAMS? Yeah, that's right, that's right. How many out here today are survivors of cancer? Excellent. How many of you here are still living and fighting through cancer? That's right. That's right. These are all special occasions and really about to sort of live for these great moments. And when I looked up these quotes for great moments, I saw all the usual suspects like seize the day, no day but today. But I found one that really resonated when you think about living for special moments and special occasions. Don't ever save anything for a special occasion. Being alive is a special occasion. And being alive is my special occasion every single day. Many of you know my story. In 2012, in 2010, I got sick for the first time. I was diagnosed with stage 3 metastatic breast cancer. And it was a crazy grave diagnosis that came out of nowhere when life was going very well for me. And like my fellow warriors out here today, my life automatically, overnight, became a whirlwind of doctors, nurses, body scans, surgeries, needles, 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 needles. Needles suck. I was no longer in control of my body. How much weight I'd lose, how much weight I would gain, when my hair fell out, what I would look like without it, if I would sleep through the night ever again, if I could stop my eyes from racing to just focus on one thing, no control. This is the time that a person who's battling cancer says, I'm done. I give up. Life, you can go on without me. Just gonna put them down. And that brings me to my next big quote. The dark days make me strong. Or maybe it's that I was already strong and those dark days just needed me to prove it. I had no idea the strength that I had in me to fight and to kick cancer to the curb, which leads me to another very popular quote amongst our cancer survivors here. Suck it, cancer. Before long, I started the process of healing. I had gone through my journey and had come out the other side cancer-free and went on with living. In 2012, my cancer had come back, and this time it had metastasized into my liver and every single bone in my body. And if you are seeing me here today, there's a lot of me, which means there's a lot of cancer that was in this body. Thinking back on that time, looking at my own fate, which I was told my life would end probably within a 3 to 4 month span of time, I found another great quote that really articulated the moment for me, which is, it's okay to be scared, because being scared means you are about to do something really, really brave. And for me, my really, really brave was to go home and tell my husband that I'm gonna live, was to go home and look at my son, my mighty, mighty Quinn, and say, I'm going to live, was to sit down with my daughter, who was very young at the time, my baby girl, Brielle, and say, I'm going to live, to sit myself down and say, Missy, you're not going to die. You're gonna fight through this. A popular quote comes to mind when I started that second battle, which is, I get by with a little help from my friends. The friends in our community that we live in every day, whether it was a meal train, visits, phone calls, snail mail, presents, iced coffee, visits, no matter what it was, everybody was there for me no matter when I needed it. I also got a little help from my friends too, from the American Cancer Society. Without the American Cancer Society, I would not have been able to go into various chat rooms with groups of women who were going through the same exact thing that I was going through. If I had a crazy side effect and I could go online to find out what to do with that side effect, I could come out with a solution for myself so I wouldn't be suffering as much as I had been suffering. Now, some of those side effects, such as a crazy itch, going online and finding a breast cancer survivor from Ohio who swore by taking a bath in apple cider would get rid of the itch, ended up just being me taking a bath in apple cider and smelling like apple cider for about 10 days and still itching. But I found other resources: house cleaning, wig services, hair coverings, and also how to talk to my kids about the fact that cancer is very much a part of my family. So the end of 2012 came and I became a miracle story at Monmouth Medical Center. My scans showed that almost all of my cancer had been treated, which was amazing because I was still alive and it looked like I'm gonna live. Now, I will not be able to say I'm cancer-free, and I will need 2 life-saving chemotherapies every month for the rest of my life, but I am alive. Every single day, I'm living because I can. That leads me to my final quote: whether you're graduating high school, graduating middle school, or one of my fellow warriors, survivors, or livers with cancer, eat delicious food. Walk in the sunshine. Appreciate your friends. Jump in the ocean. Say the truth that you're hiding in your heart. Be silly, be kind, and be weird. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Thank you.